Buc-ee's Redo, Mississippi. We need a Buc-ee's one soon. We have so many Buc-ee's things. This one is definitely bigger than the last one. It's packed in here. Everybody's so excited for Buc-ee's. So every time I come back, well, I guess it's number 2, I learn new things. They have frozen jalapeno poppers, chicken breast, and a pork tenderloin. This is going to be so good for dinner. I'm so stoked. All right, kids, we did good. Spent even more money than I did last time, and I got less swag and more food. Now that I know their food's great, I've definitely got all the food. And the frozen stuff, it's awesome to be able to enjoy Buc-ee's for weeks, or a week, I guess. All right, we're leaving South Mississippi. We are headed north to Port Gibson. So let's see what's over there. Reviewing the plans for Port Gibson, and it says, oh, 30 minutes out of the way, there's the photographed place in Mississippi. It's the Windsor Ruins. And I was like, well, shit. Like, I mean, will I come back to Mississippi? So far, probably, but I don't know. So since I'm going to be so close, I might as well go see it. But I was like, oh no, I'm staying at a Harvest Host, and I just called it. Get there before dark, we have plenty of time. So Pete and I are on our way there now. We are 43 minutes away. So let's see what the most photographed place in Mississippi looks like. Never seen anything like it. That's crazy. Wow. I don't know what it is, but there's lots of placards around, so let's learn about it. But holy cow, the ornate designs up at the top. Really neat. All right, let's do some reading. All right. It was an old plantation from 1890. And after a dinner party, it was accidentally set on fire. They think a lit cigarette must have fallen on the ground. This is all that remains of it. That's nuts. It's so beautiful. It talks about, so it was, building was completed the year the Civil War broke out. And because it was so high, soldiers often used it as a lookout. And it talks about the Battle of Fort Gibson, which is the town we're going to next. And they use this kind of as a lookout point. Fort Gibson earned the title of the city Too Pretty to Burn, which is one of the reasons why we're going to see it, by Ulysses S. Grant when he was coming through this territory. So let's keep going. Hi. So So that was definitely worth the detour. I'm glad we went. Such a beautiful architecture and how the building used to look, and definitely ties into this Civil War history, which I have a feeling a lot of these towns we're going to see in Mississippi and Alabama have to do with, of course, the Civil War. So it ties into this epic adventure, and we should continue on. It looks like Port Gibson also in 1966, the NAACP did do a boycott on white-owned businesses here because of their poor treatment of them living here. So it looks like here's a monument to them getting their fair rights here in Port Gibson. So that's very cool. And there's the 1800s courthouse, which I think is also really beautiful too, from the 1800s. So yeah, definitely a little bit of history I found here. Still trying to figure out where all the things I need to see are here. It's not a very big town. It's a pretty small town, and by the sounds of everybody saying hi, everybody knows each other here, which is a really, really fun town to be a part of. Hello, hello. So we are at the Grand Gulf Military Monument. Look at these old volcanoes. This is the real military site of the Civil War. Of course, we get here 40 minutes before they close. And there is a lot of driving tour, but of course, 24-foot motorhomes will not fit. So we are just going to explore what we can. Looks like they have a lot of old artifacts. One-man submarine. That's really cool. From Prohibition. So yeah, we're gonna see what kind of things that we can discover and see. But yes, we're getting into our history movement. Oh wow, look at these old carriage. New Orleans hearses. Oh, cute, a cycle. Civil War ambulance wagon. Oh wow, these are really cool. Oh no, we're in jail. We're in trouble. Wow, the ironwork is really neat. It's definitely cool. It's lasted this whole time. That old car, that's really neat. Well, here's the old water wheel. That's really cool. Hold on, beeps. Hold on, beeps. I ran up that hill. So here's the Gulf View Cemetery. It's very different than the one we saw Biloxi. So, but I mean, look where we are. We're kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm here, and I was trying to figure out where the rifle mounds are, and I'm gonna take a wild guess. It's these guys. So you can hide below, put the rifle on top. Very interesting. It says, during April 29th, 1863 bombardment of the Grand Gulf, these rifle pits were held by the 6th Missouri Confederate. Interesting. The way this dog moves when she's ready to go back to the car. She's hustling. But earlier, when I was trying to come up here, she was so sluggish I had to pick her up and run her up here. So funny. Such a little picky girl. So a quick synopsis, what I got is when Ulysses S. Grant was trying to figure out how to go south, he figured by the Mississippi River would be strategic, because those who control the Mississippi River can control what supplies come in and out of the area. So he decided to pick here as an area and came here. So ultimately, the Confederates did hold off that battle, and the Union did have to retreat, but it looks like they reconvened, and eventually the Union did control the Mississippi, which once you controlled that, the rest was easily controlled in this area. So yeah, very, very beautiful. If you are outside of Port Gibson, come to this park. I wish I had more time to explore it, but I think we did about all we could in 40 minutes.
Unaware that they are outnumbered 3-1, Confederates launch a fierce attack.
Look at these projectiles. I can't even pick this one up. It's absolutely crazy to think about what they used. What was the projectiles during the Civil War? And I learned that the Battle of Vicksburg was 47 days. That's a long time to be stuck in the trenches with artillery fire going. I love it when national parks do the Bark Ranger program. Vicksburg has a really cool one. They give this little dog tag. That's very, very sweet. You're Bark Ranger! Here is some positioning for one of the actual battles. So as you explore around, there are monuments not always quite as big as this, but often more little ones like that, and they're dedicated to men from different states that passed away here. And this large one is in remembrance of patriotism of Wisconsin soldiers engaged in the siege of Vicksburg, March 29th to July 4th. And it looks like they've got the list of all the men from Wisconsin who died. It's a pretty incredible list of people. So here was the northernmost fort for the Confederacy. Of course, since they live here, they built these forts ahead of time to help control the Mississippi, which of course was the key to the war, because if you can't get supplies up and down the river, then you're kind of stuck. So, but yeah, look at the beauty of Mississippi. So green. Here's the USS Cairo. For some reason I thought it was gonna be on water. Granted, that was hundreds of years ago. Look! That's really cool. I'm really excited to go on it. Here is it's powered by steam. So this is a good representation of what an 1800s setup would have looked like. So it was underwater for 100 years before it was recovered. I mean, remarkably, I think it looks pretty good for 100 years underwater. We're walking through the National Cemetery. It is very, very peaceful for the final rest of these men. Oh, she's so happy. Cemetery is beautiful.